In the wake of the mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine, at least 13 more shootings around the country killed 11 people over the weekend.
Oh, my God.
The Gun Violence Archive provided these numbers. The most alarming incident happened after a night of Halloween fun. Now, this video from Tampa shows people in their costumes scattering outside bars and nightclubs when shooting began early Sunday morning. 2 people were killed here, 16 others were injured, and 1 suspect is under arrest.
I mean, what is wrong with this country where, the price of freedom is dead children? I don't even understand it, but this is the thing that we've been served up on a platter ever since Sandy Hook, because no one could explain Sandy Hook to a normal thinking, logical parent, grandma, aunt, uncle, brother, sister. Human beings weren't going to be easy to manage when you had 19 dead a 6-year-olds. So the NRA, which is a terrorist organization in my best, guesstimate, said, oh, that's the price of freedom. Dead children are the price of freedom. So why do I bring that up today? Because I want to know from you, what's the difference between the NRA and our view in the United States that dead children is the price we pay to be free, and Hamas? Or what's the difference between the NRA and Benjamin Netanyahu? Somebody's going to have to educate me, because I don't see a difference. They both, all of these, entities, if you will, believe that dead children are the price that you have to pay if you want a free society. Now, Hamas obviously doesn't want a free society. I don't think Netanyahu does either, and I'm sure Donald Trump doesn't. And they all do believe that dead children is just the price you pay. It's just, the cost of, being at the table. Okay, this is a very sick kind of leadership that the world has seen and that the world continues to see. This strong and wrong crowd, this crazy crowd, have got to be sent a message that the rest of the world disapproves. And what I'm concerned about, not that I think I'm ever going to be able to prevent war in my lifetime or in the next, because God knows I've been protesting war my entire adult life and I haven't stopped a one. Not one war have I been able to stop. Now, I will say there is something cathartic about protesting war. There is something that makes you feel that you've done something, and that helps you cope and deal with the fact that there is war and there will always be war, because man's inhumanity to man is legion. It is legendary. We make horror movies about it and we make history movies about it. And there ain't no difference, except for the musical score. So I have no illusions that by screaming and yelling or marching or sleeping in Lafayette Square Park or sleeping in a ditch in Crawford, Texas, across from George Bush's house, is going to end a war. It isn't. It never will. So the best I can offer you is the idea of understanding why there is one. But to go out there and to take sides, and one of the sides is going to increase hatred in the world. It's going to increase anti-Semitism because you're for terrorists now. That to me is bizarre. I can't figure it out to save my life. I don't understand why people are taking sides. There is no good side here. Netanyahu, obviously, the idea that Netanyahu missed this, right? That they were rehearsing Hamas, a terrorist organization, right on the border of Israel and Gaza. That they were rehearsing, that they had built a fake city, and that they had been practicing this terrorist operation where, now I just want to explain to you what the operation was. It wasn't just a handful of miscreants that went into, a kibbutz and killed, a group of people. No. This was 2,500 terrorists who are part of the government in Gaza. Gaza is run by Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization, period, end of story, okay? 2,500 of Hamas's people went into Israel at 6 o'clock in the morning. They went to a concert, that kids were having in the desert. It was 6 o'clock in the morning and they were still partying, okay? They were still dancing. And they started killing those people. And then they went into 20 different locations, 20 different communities, 20 different gated communities, okay? And they kidnapped, they raped, they killed, they burned, they stabbed, they shot, they beheaded. 2,500 of them, and Netanyahu missed all of it. He missed all of it. What do I mean he missed it? Well, not only wasn't he hip to the warnings, and didn't you always think of Israel as being the intelligence champions of the world? Israeli intelligence was the top of the line stuff, right? No, he misses all of this. And then when those people were being shot and tortured and raped and beheaded and their children were being set on fire, when people were in safe rooms and grenades were being thrown in, okay, and when mothers were laying on top of their children and the mothers were being shot in front of their children and the children were being shot in front of their parents while they were Facebooking it, while they were live streaming it to Facebook, the terrorists were, for hours, no one came to help them. No one. Very Uvalde. And so that is why the people who live on those kibbutzim, which is the plural, okay, do not want Netanyahu to take revenge in Gaza for them because they know he dropped the ball. They know whatever he was doing was not the right thing on either the warning that he should have had, that it was being practiced, or on the actual day of the attack when nobody came to help them for hours and hours. And hours and hours. They said, the people that were attacked, the ones that survived, said that they were calling the Israeli Defense Forces. They were calling everyone they could think of. They were calling police. They were calling Shin Bet, which is kind of like our FBI. They were calling the Israeli Defense Force, which is the army. They were calling every place they could think of to come get us. Come get us. We're under attack. No one came. No one came. And so the people there, they sort of kind of know what was going to happen as a result of this, and they don't want it to happen as a result of this. That's the way it is. And so I get that, and I appreciate that, and I applaud that, and I think that is just like the most giving, open-hearted, intelligent position you could possibly have. But the people who are here and refuse to get into the nitty-gritty of what may have happened there, the people who have chosen the wrong side, the terrorist side here, do you know what they are going to contribute to? We have had a problem with anti-Semitism in this country since Donald Trump said there were good people on both sides. He released the hounds on that. Also on racism and hatred of every sort you could possibly imagine. Muslim bans and anti-Semitism on the other side of that, and birtherism about Obama, and he hated Black Lives Matter. They countered with Blue Lives Matter, except they didn't mean that either because cops were served up for meals, right?